Good morning, LinkedIn. This is Dwight Mitchell here from Imagine Digital Design again. This morning I am here with Julie Mann from The Habit Fixer. How are you, Julie? How are you? Tell us where you're located in the country.
Hello, Dwight. Thank you for having me. I'm in Lewes. I don't know if you know Lewes. It's in East Sussex.
Okay, good stuff. So tell us about your business. Tell me about your services that you offer. The Habit Fixer. What's that all about?
Habit Fixer, yes. So I basically show people how by changing their habits, they can change their life. I really particularly love working with women over 50 who want to regain their mojo and age well. And I do that through EFT, which is a really simple tapping technique, and nutrition, skincare, and digital products as well.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this? How long has your business been going?
I've probably been coaching and doing EFT for about 16 years, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
What got you into doing that?
Well, actually, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was 39 then, I actually experienced panic attacks, and I went to see a hypnotherapist, and working with her shifted that behavior. And then I decided that if someone could do that for me, what if I could do that for someone else? So I trained as a hypnotherapist, and I started working with people at home around my acting work as well. And then I discovered life coaching and EFT. And I really like the combination of EFT and life coaching. So I've been doing that ever since.
Okay, so for the benefit of the listeners and probably for myself, what is EFT, and can you give us a bit of an explanation as to what that is?
Yeah, so EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a very simple tapping technique, and it's kind of built on the premise that any kind of, I'll say negative emotion, though all emotions are good, is a disruption in the body's energy system. And by tapping on specific points, it allows whatever's stuck there to dissipate or disappear.
Okay, good, great. So what would you say would be your unique selling point? What makes you any different to any other life coach or EFT coach? What makes you different? What's your USP?
I think, having been an actor, I still work as an actor. I still do role play. I've been doing it for over 40 years. I've worked in theatre. I've done a bit of television, BBC radio, that kind of thing. I think my unique selling point really is the fact that I've learned over time that being me is really the most important thing in whatever I do. And I like to work with people who really want to make changes, but they also want to be aligned with their own values and, be who they are rather than trying to be somebody that they're not.
Yeah. Okay. So can you share, over the years that you've done your, you've been doing the hypnotherapy and the EFT, what milestones have you achieved, and what have you had to overcome to get to where you are today?
Well, one of the things I overcame was obviously having the panic attacks. That was a huge thing for me because it was really something that was very, very debilitating. So if anybody watching has any kind of anxiety and they have panic attacks, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The other thing really was that when I was younger, I really didn't feel that I was good enough. I always thought that if I was playing a part, that was who I really should be and not the person that I actually was. Mm-hmm. So I had issues with eating behavior. I also was a stage in my life where I took too many drugs and I drank too much. And I overcame all of those things by, learning to become myself. And, learned some skills and strategies that now I help my clients with.
Brilliant. No, good. So what are with your running a business like this, everybody, you got business goals and objectives. What is your goal and objective for running your business? What is that?
Well, personally, I always want to be working with people who really want to work with me, and I like to have fun and be playful. I think that's really, really important, and really to help as many people as I can. I think that whatever we do, there are people who want what we provide, but it's finding the people that really, really want it, rather than trying to persuade those people that don't want it.
Yeah.
We're the one for them. So yeah.
Yeah, good. So how do you market your business? How do you, what marketing strategies do you use to reach out to your ideal customer?
So I love LinkedIn, actually. I love, just love the whole platform. I also use some Facebook, and I have a website, and I also have a YouTube channel. So I think between those platforms, that's really what where people find me. Yeah, but it's mostly really reaching out and talking to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Do you use different networking platforms? Do you network quite regularly?
I do network with Only, which is a brilliant networking group, which is online. And it's great in many ways. It's great because I like the ethos of Only, but also I love the people that I'm mixing with on that platform. So I'd absolutely recommend it.
How long have you been with Only?
Probably only about 6 months, actually.
Okay.
But so far, so good.
Okay, good. So, I mean, what challenges have you found from a business point of view? I mean, from a personal, I think you've shared what your personal challenges, but as a business, trying to get a business running and going, what challenges have you come across and had to overcome?
I think it's really important to be disciplined, and also at the same time to make sure that you take time off to rest and recuperate and have some fun. So I think I've always kind of typically struggled with systems and really being planning, but actually those things that I've avoided typically in the past are things that really work. It's important to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, and to make sure that you're taking enough time off so that you, like I say, have a balanced life.
Absolutely, it's reaching out. You've got to be doing that online marketing, reaching out to people, trying to engage with other people the whole time, which is good. So, are you the only person in your business, or do you have partners, people that you work with?
No, it's just me. In my habit fixer business, but I also have an online business and I'm part of a team.
Okay.
And that's fantastic.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so about 10 years ago, probably. So I was kind of mid to late 50s. My husband suddenly asked for a divorce, and I've been working as an actor for a long time and really loving that, and also had my business where I had people around to my practice room at home, and they would come to me for hypnotherapy to start with, and then for life coaching and EFT. But my husband very unexpectedly asked me for a divorce, and at that time, I had absolutely no pension or savings or anything else. And I knew that even though I loved what I did, I needed something else too. And something that would really fit around all the things that I did and allow me to work my business from my phone from anywhere in the world. So I started an online business. I became a brand ambassador for a company called Arbonne. And that's something that I share with my clients, because Arbonne is a company that make pure, safe, and beneficial products. And I think really, if we want to have a happy, healthy life, we need to take care of our body, mind, and skin.
Yeah.
So the two kind of go hand in hand. But so that business, I'm part of a team, but my habit fixer business, that's me.
Okay, good. So how do you run a small business? There's a lot of hats that you have to wear to ensure that the business runs smoothly and generates a reasonable income. So tell us, how do you plan and manage your daily activities?
I often make a list of things that I'm going to be doing the night before or the day before I'm going to do them. And I think that really, really helps. I also like to put my alarm on. I don't like to be online and, being in one position for too long. So I might put my, mobile alarm on for, 30 minutes, something like that, and then work for 30 minutes. When the alarm goes off, get up, and do something completely different.
Yeah.
And I think that, working from home, there are so many distractions that it's really great to find a way to be focused. And so 20-minute slots or 30-minute slots work really well for me.
Brilliant. Do you have any pets or anything? Any cats in that?
I don't, but I have a neighbour who's got 7 cats, so I get plenty of cats in my garden.
Oh wow, yeah, good. So, do you use? Is there certain type of software that you use, technology that you use on a daily basis to keep your business functioning?
When it comes to software, I'm really not. I'm a bit of a technophobe, to be honest with you, Dwight. I know that you're all about software, aren't you, and things technical. But I just use, what's set up on my computer, and really do as little technically as I possibly can, to be honest.
Okay, right. So, what from an online, like you said, you were saying earlier, it's about reaching out to people and trying to engage with people. So, how do you maintain that online presence for your habit fixer business? What are your processes or your strategy that you use?
So I like to post on LinkedIn 3 times a week. I'm also at the moment doing a LinkedIn Quality Leads Formula course, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, and I'm part of a group, and so we support each other and like and share each other's posts, which is really helpful. So that I do, and I think the other thing that I do, which is not related to my business but does make a difference to me, is that I have a morning routine. So when I get up, I do meditate, and I do gratitude, and I do things that really put me in a great mindset before I start the day. And I think that mindset is absolutely key in whatever we do.
Absolutely.
So it kind of really sets me up for the day, and that's a practice that I have every single morning.
Oh, absolutely, and I find that too. Is if your brain is in a bad space when you get up in the morning, trying to just be positive and trying to keep the business going is very difficult. It's a real challenge. You have to have that positive mindset when you get up in the morning and you think, "Yep, I'm going to take this day. I'm going to take it on."
Yeah, and not sort of positive, not sort of toxic positivity.
Yeah.
But really always look at. For me, I like to acknowledge what's going on.
Absolutely.
Because stuff happens in life, doesn't it? And we don't always like what it is, or our circumstances. But it's really, for me, about looking at how can I be about those circumstances that perhaps are not what I wanted, or how can I move closer to what it is that I do want? How can I feel that better? How can I be more peaceful? How can I solve that problem? So I think when we look at solutions rather than the problem, life just is much, much more endurable.
Absolutely, because that's all a problem is a solution that you need to resolve. But and I think the whole, as you're saying, it's looking at life in a way, in a those problems in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. And I think if you overly try and do this whole positive mindset where that can be unrealistic in some point, where you're saying, "Oh, everything's good, nothing's bad," but you've got to look at those problems and think, actually, this is a challenge. It's instead of seeing this as a problem. I mean, I was in the corporate world for many years, and we were always told, a problem is just a challenge that you've got to overcome, and you've got to find a way to overcome that. And that's the type of mindset small business owners need to have to be able to make it through each day and through each week. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I think so. And also, the thing to remember is that that the challenges that we are able to overcome, particularly if they're very difficult, taken a lot for us to get through that, beyond that, are the ones that really shape us. They're the ones that really have us grow into the person that usually is the person we've always wanted to be. So I think that it's really important to kind of look at it in that light.
Yeah, yeah. So from your customers and all that kind of stuff, can you share a memorable customer feedback or success story that you've had? Doesn't matter when, within your business, obviously, but it's something memorable, that really a customer feedback that really sticks out for you.
I was just thinking back to a course that I recently created and run. It's called Self-Confidence Formula, 6 Steps to Be Unapologetically You. And I ran it with 6 people, and they all gave me incredible feedback, and all of them have now been able to deal with situations in a different way, whether that be confidence to speak up in a way that they hadn't before, or one person with an ex-husband who was incredibly difficult, her ability to overcome her anger and be more effective in her way of communicating with him, and therefore create some sort of peace and calm around her relationship with her son as well.
So from starting a business and all that you do in that, what advice would you give somebody who wanted to start a hypnotherapy or EFT type business like yours, or any type of business? What type of advice would you possibly give a woman who finds herself in your situation, where you get to 50 and your husband walks out on you? What type of advice would you give to somebody like that, trying to just make ends meet at the end of the day?
I think that no matter who we are, actually, we're always doing the best we can with the resources that we have. And faced with a situation like that, sometimes it's about looking for new resources. It's about being supported by people who really care about you and have your back. So talk to people who, make a difference to you, whether that's emotionally or maybe they have some skill that they can teach you, or some advice that really would make a difference to you. But I think overall, the important thing is to be open to solutions, maybe to look in places where you haven't looked before for something new, but also at the end of the day, throughout the whole day, actually, to be really kind to yourself and to know that being you is enough and always has been. And actually, if you try to be someone else, you're only going to be a poor second.
Absolutely. And this is when there's a lot of negativity, especially around something as awful as a divorce, be nice back. And in any situation, it doesn't have to be a divorce, but sometimes when people are really nasty, if you just be nice back to them, can completely diffuse the whole situation.
Yes, it's such a powerful way of being. And actually, when we retaliate, when we get all defensive, we don't feel great. No. I do believe that we're on this planet. I believe I'm on this planet to have a great time and to be happy. And it's my responsibility to find ways to be happy. And I think that, when we take responsibility for the quality of our life and the way we feel about it, life shows up in a whole different way.
Absolutely. Because we're not responsible for how other people behave.
No.
We're purely responsible for how we behave. So how people respond to us, that's their problem. And if people want to be horrible, they're the ones with the problem, not us. And that's where we got to address life and go forward in life.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it can be challenging sometimes, can't it? Particularly if it's family, those relationships are very entrenched, and I think it can be very challenging. It's not always pleasant when somebody says something that just, isn't kind. But the important thing always is to be kind to ourselves.
Absolutely.
And I hear people say, "Oh, I just want to make so-and-so happy. I just want them to be happy." But actually, you're right. It's absolutely not our job to make anyone else happy. In fact, we don't have the power.
No.
We absolutely don't have the power to do that, but we do have the power to say in how our life goes and how we feel. on a moment by moment basis.
Yeah, well, when we try to control how other people are, or trying to make other, we're trying to take the place of God, and that's His job. You know, it's not our job. That's His job. So we just got to make sure that that our behavior is right, the way we speak, the way, and that, you know, let other people carry on how they want. You know,
Yeah.
I'm responsible for me, and each individual is responsible. And like I said earlier, you know, when somebody's negative and you be positive back to them, it does diffuse them. You know, I can think of many times where people have come really negatively, and you give a positive response, and they're like, "Wow, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah." So it's good.
I
So
totally agree.
going forward, what's your future plans for the business? How do you hope to expand? How do you hope to go forward?
So I run one course, self-confidence formula course, and I would like to run another one shortly. And also I'd like that to become a digital product as well. And I'm also looking to expand really my clients and business partners for my online Arbonne business as well. Yeah.
Good. Has there ever been a time in running either, you know, well, especially because we're here talking about Habit Fixer, has there ever been a time where when you started out, you realized, wait a minute, I need the direction I'm going, I need to adjust that direction because it's not going exact. Is there
Yeah.
any time like that for you? Yeah.
Oh my goodness, so many times, Dwight, so many times. And but that's fine, isn't it? Because you know, life takes twists and turns, and sometimes, you know, something that I set out to achieve, I've suddenly realized partway through, actually, do you know what, I don't really want to do that anymore. It's just not for me. And I think the important thing is to really follow your passion, and to not be afraid to say, actually, no, that's not working, I'm going to try something else. Because sometimes that something else might be, you know, the answer to you really having a life of your dreams.
Yeah. Okay. So what advice would you give anybody who would be listening to this, who's stuck, you know, who's got a business they're running and they're a bit stuck in a rut, or like you say, they're going in one direction and they don't know what to do? What advice, based on your experience thus far, what advice would you give somebody like that?
I would say acknowledge what's happening, and notice how that feels, acknowledge it, and then start looking for, you know, what it is that's really important. If you know, we all have values, you know, is what you're doing or what you're trying to do, is that in line with your values? You know, my values are integrity, honesty, fun. You know, we've all got values, and sometimes if we're trying to do something and it's not in line with those values, then it won't feel right, and nothing we try to do will make the thing work. So I think it's important to ask yourself, is that in line with my values? Is it something that's going to make me feel good? And if it is, then what is it I need to do differently? Research, talk to people who maybe have done something similar, who are open to having conversations, supporting you. And then if that doesn't work, then book in with an expert, and you know, perhaps someone like me can help you shift whatever it is that's in the way. Mostly it's fear, or as I say, it might be that it's the thing that you wanted to do is really not in line with who you actually are. It's not in integrity with you. So.
No, brilliant. If anyone is listening to this is Julie Mann from The Habit Fixer. If anybody's listening to this video, at the bottom of the video is all her contact details, her website and her email. She can be found on LinkedIn as well. Julie, it has been wonderful talking to you this morning. Is there any last pearls of wisdom you'd like to put out there before we say goodbye?
Well, firstly, thank you so much, Dwight, for asking me. I think really, I would say, have fun every day. Look for something to laugh at. I think that laughing is very underestimated. So find something to laugh at every single day, and you'll have a good day.
No, good. Thank you very much. And I agree. They say laughter is the best form of medicine. So it's good advice there. Thank you very much again, Julie, for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you on. Don't go away. I'm gonna end the live stream, but thank you very much for the LinkedIn people who listen to this, and contact Julie. You never know. She could help you through a problem or give you some good advice. Give her a contact. All the details are scrolling at the bottom of this. Have a good day.